All right, everyone. Happy Saturday and welcome. Super fired up and pumped up for today. Not sure if you guys saw the lineup, but it is going to be quite magical because we have some unicorns that are speaking today. So my name is Michelle Churchill Dworack. It is an honor to be hosting the call today. I am actually tuning in from Michigan, and it's crazy because it's sunny this morning. So that's how I know that we are going to have a lot of fun together. So I just want to say a couple housekeeping announcements because we have an end-of-the-month promo that is literally fire burning on the dance floor, and I have to scream it from the rooftops because if you have not heard, if you spend $150, you not only get free shipping, as always, but you are going to get Revitalize absolutely complimentary, which is $49.99 value. If this is a new customer coming in, you will also get $25 off, and if you put it on subscription, you'll get a future $25 deposit, okay? Existing customers can use your Modere cash plus put it on auto subscription for an additional $25 deposit. Okay, lastly, if you try the Uplift collection, you are going to get the LTO box and the journal, which is only while supplies last. Okay? And as always, for the microbrand hair care collection, you are going to receive an additional $5 in the U.S. In Canada is $7.50. Also, next Saturday, set a timer right now. I just went into my phone and I put on my calendar and for my alarm every single day to remind me to keep setting it. Next week, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we have a virtual mastermind to prepare for the biggest months to come. You guys, the biggest months are March, April, and May. And that is going to be streamed on all of our platforms. So you should be able to see it inside of all of our groups, and more details will come to that, but just get that bookmarked. It's a week from today, 11 a.m. Tune in from the car, the soccer field, wherever it is that you are. And then lastly, the Fall Summit discount, getting your ticket for basically half off versus the full price is ending within the next 72 hours. So those are some housekeeping tips for you guys. There's some announcements. A little bit about my background. So I had actually absolutely no business being in this business. I was a hard no for 5 years. I remember my sisters and my mom and my dad, we used to sit around and talk about people who would try to sell things on social media. And my perception of it was that they had really wealthy husbands or partners, and they did it kind of for fun, just to have something to do and to fill their time with, and they maybe made $100 per month, if that. And I was a hard no, never knew what I was saying no to, but fast forward to a point in my life where my life changed, and I was going through a divorce. I was actually kind of intervented in between my an intervention with my family and my therapist, and, you know, it's time for you to remove yourself from the situation that you are in. I became a single mom, and my background was in human resources. So here I was, a single mom, working as a full-time HR specialist, leaving my house for a 30-minute commute to work around 6:30 a.m., and I didn't get home from work after that 30-minute commute home until sometimes 6:30, 7 o'clock p.m. And I came home to my daughter at the time, who was 2 years old, and I was a single mom, so doing dinner time and bath time and reading and getting her off to bed all by myself. I would then go into the basement where I did hair. And I would do hair until sometimes 11:30, midnight, and I would go to bed, and that's what I did Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, I picked up cleaning houses, and if I saw dog poop in their yard, I would ask if I could clean up the dog poop. I would rake leaves, and I would shovel, and that is what I did in order to live paycheck to paycheck. I had absolutely no extra money for a college fund for my daughter. I didn't have any money to put away. I lived paycheck to paycheck, and money was always the reason why I had to say no. And as Isabella was growing up, I started to miss out on a lot of milestones. And it started to really take a toll on me. I felt underappreciated. I had a lot of mom guilt. I was really sad, diagnosed with depression, and I one day went to work full-time. I'll never forget it, at my full-time job, and we did a mass elimination of a department. And I was put on the exit interview for those employees. And every one of the employees that was exited out of the building, they were escorted out by me. I was put on that, and every one of them were there for a minimum of 10 years. So they had 10 years in the company. And that's when I realized that I was just a number. And that night when I went home to put Bella to bed and do our bedtime routine, it was also a very indifferent evening. As I went to tell her goodnight, she clenched onto my hand, and she started crying as if there was a monster underneath her bed. And she's shouting out, "Mom, Mama, miss you. Mama, don't do hair. Mama, no basement." And she's crying, and I start crying. And here I have a client waiting for a cut and color in the basement, and I had to go do it, or else I wasn't going to be able to pay my cell phone bill the next day, and my service was going to be turned off. So to shoot you straight, she cried herself to sleep. I went in the basement. I did hair, and that night I cried myself to sleep. And that is when I was like, there has to be a solution out there for me. And that is when I found that if I could just make a decision, which you could be one decision away from making this decision to be positive, coachable, willing to grow, and hungry for more, I could tap into a simple system, especially the social retail system, and I could make an additional $100-200 per week. And that additional stream of income was a game changer when it came to me and Isabella's lifestyle. And I'm so grateful that I said yes. And I'm not only pumped up and fired up that I'm now coming in on my 5th year, but I have helped more people, especially in social retail. I was in a previous company, and I ended up reading a book, 6 Figures to Success by Rob Sperry. And as I'm reading it, I'm starting to learn about other people's stories, and that's where I came across meeting John Melton. And when I realized that he was in a previous company and there's different structures, I realized I could help more people. So that's where I landed my forever home, which is social retail modern. It crosses off all of the boxes are checked when it comes to everything that we have to offer between our hero products, our leadership, and our amazing systems in place for anybody to be able to come into and plug into and start earning our daily pay twice a day. So that is my background. I'm super excited that I've helped more people than I've been able to count on all my fingers and my toes combined now, be able to say yes to something they financially couldn't say yes to before. They're getting into a healthier way of living, and they're replacing toxic products in their home with non-toxic products. So I'm really grateful. I'm so happy that I said yes and actually learned what it was that I was saying no to for so long. So I'm actually